Hey guys, it is Laurence here, and today what I wanted to do is share with you the techniques that we teach our paying clients around how to source leads and source them properly, because there's sourcing leads and then there's the right way to source leads. And that's what I'm going to share with you today, because it will really put your outreach efforts on steroids, because people do the same thing over and over again, and they do what everybody else does, and it just doesn't work very well. So if you've ever struggled with cold outreach in the past and you haven't got the results that you're wanting and hoping for, this, what I'm going to share with you in today's video, is probably why. You've got to first of all remember that leads are they're the lifeblood of every campaign. They're the thing that determines whether it works or whether it doesn't. If you've got an amazing campaign but with crappy leads coming into it, it doesn't matter how good the campaign is. It's just not going to work. So the results of a campaign are only going to be as good as the quality of the leads. And so if you get this part wrong, everything downstream, as I like to call it, downstream of the leads, is irrelevant. It just doesn't really matter. What the general consensus of generating leads is that there's a one size fits all. Like, people are searching for what is the best lead sourcing method. And the truth behind it, and it's probably a truth that a lot of people don't want to hear, but the real truth behind it is that there is no one size fits all. There is no best lead sourcing method, because one platform might have great leads that are perfect for you, but the leads that I want from that platform aren't good. And so it's not about like, this is the place to get leads from, because that's where people go wrong. It is about understanding that there is no best place for everybody, but there will be a best place for you and your individual business. And that's one of the things that we see people trip up on, is they see somebody else using a particular software or a particular method, and then they go and do the same thing. They see a YouTube video that says like, this is the best like tool to download leads, and they go and copy it. But there's always subtle differences between businesses, and it just doesn't work that way all the time. So there's really three ways that you can download leads. The first way is through software. And this is ultimately going to be the best place to start. And the reason being, and this is where we point all of our clients into this direction as well, is looking at software, because it's the quickest, it's the easiest, and it's generally the most cost-effective way to source leads. But because it's the quickest, the easiest, the most cost-effective, it's what everybody else does as well. So with every advantage, there's a disadvantage. Easy to do, easy to replicate. So the leads that you're going to be downloading from a particular platform, they're going to be getting communicated with a lot more than a lead that is not on that platform. Everybody's going to be downloading the same lead list. So you've got to take that into consideration, that whenever something is really easy to do, it means everybody else is doing it as well. Therefore, it's going to be harder to get what you want from the lead list. It's going to be easier to get the lead list, harder to get what you want from it. I still do think that that is ultimately the best way to source leads. And it's definitely the best place to start up here at different softwares. And there's loads of different softwares available. And here's what I recommend that you do. It's what we do. It's what we teach our clients to do as well. And once we implemented what I'm about to share with you, it really changed the game for us. We fell into the trap of doing what everybody else does, which is just hearing that one place is great and then using that place to source all of our leads. And we did that for quite a long time. And then we came across this strategy and we've implemented it ourselves, and it's been a real game changer. And ultimately what it is it's testing different lead sourcing softwares and different platforms. What I would recommend that you do is do some research and pick and basically find as many lead sourcing softwares as you can. Sign up to all of them. Most of them are going to give you an amount of leads for free. I would personally make sure that you've got at least 300 to 500 leads, preferably 500, from each software, and I would create a campaign, and I would specifically target, I would make a campaign for each lead sourcing software. So let's say, for example, you've got Apollo, you've got Zoom Info, you've got Seamless, you've got Instantly Leads. I would create an individual campaign for every single lead sourcing software, and I would send out the campaign, and I would see which campaign produces me the best results. So I would look at, when I say the best results, what produced me the most calls. If you didn't get any calls, you might have to go through a slightly time-consuming but a very beneficial thing, which is going through the lead list and seeing whether or not these are actually your ideal clients. But just because they're your ideal clients doesn't mean that they're active, because some of these softwares are going to have old leads in them. And so what you want to do is you want to create these campaigns and see which ones are getting you actual results back. If you don't get any results, you can go through and look at the quality of the list from just from your naked eye. You also want to clean those leads and keep track of what percentage of the leads are verified. I would recommend that you don't use the built-in verification tool that sits within a lot of lead sourcing softwares, because they're not as good as Neverbounce. We use Neverbounce for ourselves. We recommend Neverbounce to all of our clients as well. It's going to give you an unbiased reading on which lead sourcing software has the most verified leads. So they're the two ways, using Neverbounce and actually testing different strategies, testing different campaigns, should I say, and seeing the results that you get back. They're the two ways to basically choose the best lead sourcing software for you. Let's say, for example, you go through that entire process that we just listed out, and most people don't do this, by the way. And the reason they don't do it is because it takes time, and it's more effort than just signing up to Apollo and using their leads. But if you want to actually get the results that are abnormal in outreach, you need to do things that are abnormal. And this is one of these things that nobody is really willing or wanting to do because they haven't got the time, they haven't got the patience, they haven't got the long-term vision to actually do this stuff. So if you want to be different, stand out, get abnormal results, you have to do abnormal things. Abnormal outputs are created by abnormal inputs. So don't be that person that wants everything but isn't willing to kind of put in the extra legwork to make that happen.
Hey, just real quick, sorry to interrupt the video, but I just wanted to let you know of our brand new free course that we have just launched that takes you through how to book more appointments on your sales calendar through cold email. The course is completely free, comes with a free community as well, where there's live calls where you can ask me anything, get your questions answered. The second link in the description is going to take you to the free course, as I say, completely free, and it's going to walk you through how to get success from your cold email campaigns. So I will leave it there and enjoy the rest of the video.
Let's say you go through that process and you aren't getting the leads that you want, you can't find the lists, you can't find the volume of leads that you want, although you know your industry is made up of a higher number of businesses. Then the next thing you can do, which is slightly less easy, slightly more expensive, is use list brokers online. So there's lots of companies out there that will sell you leads. And again, I would go through the exact same process as before. I would make a list of all the list brokers, all the people that can provide you with leads. I would speak to them. I would say, these are the characteristics that I want from my clients, and then ask them to send you a sample lead list. Test that sample lead list and see which one produces the best results. If they're not willing to give you 300 to 500 leads, explain your process, explain what you're doing, why you're doing it. Say you might give them a little bit of money to make sure that they give you 500 leads as opposed to 50 leads or 20 leads or some kind of small number. Explain why you're doing it and say that once you've completed your test, if they win, then you'll be buying leads from them for a very long time. So that is the second method. It's the second method of sourcing leads, but how you test the validity of that source is the exact same process, is by creating lots of different campaigns, cleaning them inside Neverbounce, figuring out which ones are actually going to produce you with the best results. And then if you get great results from that, perfect. You double down on what worked the best. Maybe the second best was also pretty good. Maybe you combine them both together so you've got more volume to play with. And then the third way to source leads, if number 1 and number 2 didn't happen, is to build your own list. This is the inverse of what happened with downloading leads from a software. When you download leads from a software, as I said, they're very easy to do, very inexpensive, therefore everybody does it. Therefore, the competition within those leads that you contact is very high. Now, the opposite is true when you are building your own lead list. So whether you do this yourself, whether you hire a VA, whether you hire multiple VAs to source your leads, they can source them through going on Google My Business, using plugins, using things like snov.io, lots of different tools out there to allow you to build your leads. And the great thing about this, although it's more timely, more costly, nobody really does it. So quite often, a lot of these leads that you're going to be sourcing yourself and building, they're not on these lead sourcing softwares. So they're not getting hit up 10, 15, 20 times a day. And you're able to ultimately fish in a blue ocean. And what I mean by that is just void of competitors, or void of as many competitors at the minimum. Every advantage comes with a disadvantage. Every disadvantage comes with an advantage. And that's that in play. What I would recommend if you do go down this route is that you source your own leads to begin with. So you have like a standing operating procedure around how to do it. And then you can hire VAs to continue that process. And yes, it might be a little bit more expensive, but ultimately, if you get your acquisition systems set up properly, those leads are going to be worth their weight in gold. That's how we go through lead sourcing with ourselves and with our paying clients as well. And I hope you've got value from this video. If any questions have cropped up, just send them inside the comment section. I'll reply to them personally. If you want help generating more sales calls for your business, if you want to grow your business and take things to the next level, then click the first link in the description. It'll take you to a video that explains a bit more about what we do, who we do it for, who we don't do it for, and whether or not it's going to be a good fit. And then we can jump on a call and ultimately give you some advice, give you some coaching. If it makes sense for us to work together, then absolutely we can. If it doesn't, that's perfectly fine. At least as a minimum, you'll get value and you'll get some kind of things that you can be doing to improve your outreach. So I hope you found this video useful. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you on the next one.